Okay, so here we are in the absolutely mesmeric Cellar of Dreams, courtesy of Mickey Dale. Thank you so much to Mickey for setting this up. Because, I realised that especially a lot of my patrons, you guys, you're in different parts of the world. You're not going to be able to make it to this gig. And I just think this is a really nice way of... as good as we can do, you guys not missing out, because obviously I appreciate everyone's support that's been part of Patreon. It's been going quite a while now, and it's a brilliant community, and I love interacting with you guys. I love the community side of things. It's always nice when we get new members as well, and the live streams are fantastic. And yeah, it's just an amazing thing that you guys all support me in the way that you do. So yeah, here we are in the Cellar of Dreams, and I'm going to do Badlands on Fire for you all the way through, just as it's going to be at the live show. So yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say right now. I think we should just get into it and see how it goes. But yeah, I've been really looking forward to this, really looking forward to the gig. It's a shame that you guys can't see the art in the flesh, but I'm sure we'll be doing some sort of video once we're at the gig, so you can get a little bit more of an idea of how that looks, especially in the environment we're going to dress it, or rather Ross is going to dress it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with it then. I was thinking, am I going to do much of an intro to these songs? I know I've talked in a couple of different places about sort of the whole concept of this record and how it came about and stuff. And it really has been an organic process, really based on your support. Do you know what I mean? That's what's got me to a place where I even considered people might want to listen to my music. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, this album is really just a celebration of all that, really, and falling back in love with music again, which I think, as I've documented quite well, I ended up in a place where I wasn't connected in any way to a level of creativity, do you know what I mean? And I spent a lot of time there, and through your guys' support and love, and do you know what I mean, you've built me up into someone who believes that I can, that people want to listen to the music that I make anyway. So that's what this whole album is. It's a celebration of just life and music, I guess, really, and sort of reconnecting with life and pulling yourself out of your own creative grave, so to speak. It's just a celebration of that, and that's what the title is. Do you know what I mean? Badlands on Fire. It's effectively like setting fire to the past, and especially the worst bits of it, and then standing there and watching it burn. Do you know what I mean? With a sense of satisfaction. So yeah, rather than sort of talk too much, well, I'll see how it goes, man. Do you know what I mean? This is just like this whole thing. This is just freewheeling. I haven't planned this. I hope I can play it. And you never know, there might be the odd mistake in there, but that's live music, innit? And, although this is a bit of a different setup to getting on stage and playing in front of people in a room, I've been live streaming long, I've been podcasting long enough to still feel that impact of an audience, even though it's just a camera or cameras in this instance. Excuse me. But yeah, let's see if I can settle my nerves and play this thing for you. And yeah, man, I really hope you enjoy it. And as I say, thank you again for all your support. It really means the world to me. So right, let's start with Dream Twister, which, as again well documented, this is effectively the first thing that I did when I fell back in love with music and started playing guitar again, because I didn't even play for 10 years. So yeah, let's crack on with this. Excuse me. I've got my little band down here. This little guy Roland. He's like loads of guys in one, and he's going to be doing all the other bits because obviously I can only play guitar. But yeah, I do want to say as well, I couldn't have done any of this without James Chapman, who produced the record and also did some additional writing and things, and really helped me sculpt the songs, and then sort of mixed and produced it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, James is an absolute genius, and he's a really, really lovely guy. And yeah, thank you to him. And yeah, thank you to Tony Perrin and Ross and Nicola and Theo. But we'll maybe do a bit of more thank yous at the end. For now, I think I should probably stop talking and actually play some. But you all listen to my podcast, you know what I'm like. Once I start, I can't stop. But right, let's see if I can do this now. Let's see if I can do it. Tell you what I am going to do. Because I am a bit sort of obsessive about my tuning, but I like stuff to be in tune. I hate getting halfway through a song and realising it's out of tune. Right, let's see if I can do this then. Let's play Dream Twister. It's a long way down. I've got to get my drumstick. Sounds absolutely immense in here. Sorry, let me turn my guitar down just while I check my tuning. But yeah, absolutely love playing that. And, you know, as I say, that's the song that's really fueled the rest of this record. You know what I mean? That was the first thing that I did, was the first thing that then me and James worked on together, and turned into that. And yeah, the whole thing was just like a creative snowball that once it started rolling, just was just such a joy. You know, it was such a joyous process. And you know, when you work with someone, with people of the, you know, like James Chapman and that sort of talent, yeah, it was some of the most fun I've had in my life. Do you know what I mean? In terms of creative fulfillment and really enjoying making music again, which I never thought I'd get to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what this all is. That is what this all is. But yeah, let's go into Timefall now. And yeah, I mean the tracks on this record are in the order that they were born. Do you know what I mean? And the track listing I've left in the order that I wrote them. And yeah, the whole idea is it's like an emotional story in music rather than traditionally words like you'd normally have. But yeah, let's do Timefall now. Back down to Roland. Yeah, absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. I hope you are too. Sorry. I'm always tuning. We're looking alright. We're looking alright. So yeah, I mean, by this point, you know, we put these tracks together as they were written, as I say, and then it just kept sort of building, and I think, you know, Badlands on Fire, which is the next track I'm going to play, you know, this I think this was the realisation that it were real. Do you know what I mean? Because it's strange, really, because you know, I know this is, you know, this isn't anything that's going to mean anything to it's difficult, really. I mean, I put a lot of words together about this record and tried to like quantify or qualify what it means to me, but yeah, I think Badlands on Fire was where it really sort of started to feel real, and like I was actually creating things again. And as I say, not just kind of like for myself, other people were hearing it, and yeah, the idea to do an actual album had really formed by that point. And yeah, let's go into Badlands then. Yeah, this is another one that's just full of joy. It's a celebration, but this is the one where it felt like breaking free and turning round, and as I say, setting fire to the place and watching it burn with great satisfaction. Yeah. Oh, stopped itself. The beauty of this as well is it's great. It's a great rehearsal for me. Do you know what I mean? This is like the Badlands version. You know, of what the music did as a warm up for Temple Newsam. So what we're into now, we're into endless summer now. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the really, really uplifting one. I mean, the whole record is uplifting, as I say, that's the idea. But yeah, this is like a real summertime groove. This absolutely adore playing this. Let's see if I can play it properly. Yeah, man, absolutely killer groove. That absolutely killer groove. You know, like all the stuff that James has done on these tracks as well. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely amazing. Really, just really, really proud of it. And do you know what I mean? And it's obviously, you know, there's other people involved, like Ross, the artist, obviously Ross McCulley and Nicola McCulley. They've added so much to this project. Do you know what I mean? With the incredible art and the video for Dream Twister, which I hope you've all seen. Just absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm sure I'll say a bit more about all that at the end. Right, let's just check we are still in tune. Yeah, you know, the idea of this record is supposed to take you to a really positive place. Do you know what I mean? A sunbed for the soul is a phrase I've used a couple of times, but that's kind of what it is. It's like, I don't know, the same effects that nursery rhymes would have on children, but for adults. Do you know what I mean? But each piece of music's just got such a powerful, vivid landscape. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the images that Ross has painted are just absolutely incredible. Because that's always kind of what I envisaged is, I wonder if someone could paint the songs, and he just did it absolutely perfect. You know, it's actually, I think it's one of the best front covers of all time, is that? And I'm not just saying that, honestly. All right, so what are we on now? We are on Skyfires now. Yeah, this is another big one, man. This is another one that's really, really fun to play. Really fun to play. Yeah, let's get it going. Bloody hell. Yeah, so what we're on to now, it is Last Dance of the Light now, I believe. Just kind of fitting with these twinkly glitter balls going on, which is really adding to the vibe. Yeah, I thought I'd be really nervous doing this, but I'm kind of relaxing into it, really. But yeah, it's Last Dance of the Light now, I believe. This one's actually going to be tricky because, let's see if I can do it with my foot. I should be able to do it with my foot. That is a pretty sound. Just locked in here with my own thoughts. That's never a good thing, as we all know at this point. So I know, man, I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. And a couple of little mistakes there. You might think I'm not looking up much or I'm not engaging with the cameras. Honestly, some of these bloody guitar bits I've written so difficult that if I look up and like, hi, you'll be like, oh shit, you know. Anyway. So yeah, that was Last Dance of the Light. Again, just like most of it, man, it's all just celebration, and that's the lighter side of it. You know, conjures up all sorts of images and landscapes in my mind as that sort, you know, that tune. Love it. So where are we next? I believe it's Into the Dust. Yeah, you know, the other thing I love about this record is, so, you know, all throughout my career, or my career with the music and our career as the music, writing records and stuff, you know, there were times I'd come up with things that never really fit anywhere, if you know what I mean. It didn't really fit a vibe. But so this album's actually interspersed with like a couple of little bits that are from a different time, do you know what I mean? And when I started playing guitar again, conceptualised this record as something that I wanted to do, it sort of flashed across the back of my mind that it's like, well, there's actually the beginnings of quite a lot of things. Into the Dust, the main riff, I wrote in Japan. I couldn't tell you exactly where at this point, but it was. I used to carry a acoustic around with me in Japan all the time, and yeah, this was the main riff of this was actually written at God knows what time in the morning. Cause that's the other thing about Japan, insomnia. The main riff was actually written at something like 3, 4, maybe 5 in the morning, just proper jet lagged, and where you playing Russian roulette with the minibar fridge, just for something to drink, not necessarily alcoholic, just something like, oh God, is there a Coke in there, or an orange juice, or something like that. And in the dead of night, when you're confused, you never know what you end up drinking. It's yeah, but yeah, this the main riff of this was written during one of those moments. It's one thing I enjoy about my memory, in some senses anyway, for the good things it remembers. Because I just get to relive moments like that in my head when I talk about them. Some people have to be reminded of elements of the past, of their own past. But I've always found that I can connect with all of them, good or bad, which it's not necessarily what you want all the time. But yeah, I'm getting sidetracked now. Right, here we go. Where are we going? Into the Dust. Let's get rolling. Sorted. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah, that's another absolute stone cold killer groove. Absolutely. That one, like, don't know, it kind of reminds me of playing Jag tune back in the day or something, that one. Don't know. Just the way that, I mean, it's a completely different groove, don't get me wrong, but in the same way that that groove in Jag tune just carries that chorus. But yeah, it's been great. This chair might have been too high in retrospect, but you live and learn, don't you? So yeah, coming on to the last song now, and it's an 8-track instrumental album. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, this, you know, all the pieces of music on it are, you know, effectively like brothers and sisters in a sense, because they come out of the same thing. Do you know what I mean? They come out of that, as I spoke about before, they were born of all kinds of different frustrations, and just from a part of my life that were almost like a void, really. So yeah, these things are all just bits of emotion on a record, and much like any piece of music at the end of the day, but I mean, especially when there's no words. But yeah, it's the idea of this whole thing is, especially combined with the art, it just, do you know what I mean? It should communicate all it needs to say without words. It's kind of how I've always felt about it. And that's the other thing, really. You know, it's taken a long time to bring this record to fruition. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of it, obviously. And this is Salvation, this next one. And I mean, anyone who's been following me on Twitter and stuff back in the day, and saying back in the day, you know, May 2020 onwards, when I started playing guitar again, I came up with quite a few exciting riffs that I was putting on Twitter at the time as riff videos. But I actually stopped doing that. In fact, you want to know, like, I hadn't said this anywhere. I stopped doing riff videos for a very, very particular reason, in that someone actually sampled my audio and then did a song over it, and then emailed me and said, "Oh, just so you know, I've done this. I'm going to put it on my next album." And I was just like, "What the?" Anyway, so from that moment on, no more riff videos. I'm not having that. So yeah, this was actually part of the riff videos before I stopped. And yeah, this is Salvation. And again, it's just a beautiful uplifting tune, just like the whole record. Do you know what I mean? Just a different colour palette of emotions. So yeah, you don't want to listen to me chatting too long. You do that enough with podcast already. Let's have a look. I absolutely adore this Kemper as well, by the way, which you guys all bought me as patrons. Can't thank you enough for that. So there we go, man. Feels weird doing it without some sort of audience, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I absolutely loved it, and as I say, I just think this is a great way of giving especially patrons a chance to hear the songs live, because they are a bit different as well. Do you know what I mean? When I worked all this out in terms of how to do it live, it's kind of taken on a little bit of a life of its own. But I mean, that's the beauty of doing things live, innit? So yeah, thank you so much to everyone, all my patrons, and thank you to anyone who's pre-ordered the record or any of the art or anything like that. It really means the world to me. It's always been like a DIY project, so your support just kind of makes all that possible. And yeah, while I'm thanking people, I need to thank James Chapman, absolute genius, and he's given me something really special. Just felt like a lifeline back into all this. Do you know what I mean? Because he taught me a lot as well. Because whilst I'm really, really creative and come up with loads of great melodies, I can lack the focus to bring something into focus, and just him reining things in. And yeah, it's just been a brilliant experience working with him. Thank you to Pete Fletcher, as always. Someone else who's just done an immeasurable amount for me. If I'm going to do that, we're going to be here for ages. So, Pete Fletcher knows how much his help means. And then obviously with the podcast, and then Ross McCulley and Nicola McCulley, they deserve extra special thank yous, really, because I really couldn't have done this without them, any of it. And it was actually Ross that sort of suggested that I think about doing an instrumental album, like a soundtrack, atmospheric, cinematic thing. So yeah, I can't thank them enough for all the incredible work they've put into this project. And of course, Ross's art is just absolutely out of this world, and all the design and everything, that's all them. That's all Ross and Nicola, and the video. Any decision I make, all creatively, goes through them too, really. So yeah, their support means the world to me. And thank you to Tony Perrin as well. It's really important that I thank Tony Perrin. He's been absolutely amazing during this process, and helping me in ways that I didn't necessarily think that I would ever sort of even deserve. I know it's all stuff that it all means the world to me. It all means the world to me. And yeah, so thank you to everyone who's helped me get to this point, and who believed in me and encouraged me to make the record. And yeah, it really means the world to me. And thank you so much, and I really hope you've enjoyed this. I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'll speak to you in the live streams and on the next podcast, I've no doubt. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Really means the world to me. And thank you so much to Mickey and Paul as well for facilitating this. So this is do you know what I mean? It's a great way of doing it, and it's going to sound great. It's going to look great, and yeah, it's a bit higher, bit more higher brow than my usual Friday or Saturday night live streams. But we have fun in them. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And obviously, this is going out live, but you can watch this on repeat as many times as you want. You will be sent the link via a method I have yet to sort. It'll be easy for all you guys, because I can just email you guys the link. So yeah, you'll be able to watch it as many times as you want. Like I say, your guys' support, everyone's support, couldn't have done it without you. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon.